You wake up, you stretch. For exactly 4 seconds, life is perfect. Then you check your phone. A friend just got engaged. Someone from high school just bought a house with an actual driveway. A guy you haven't talked to since freshman year is standing on a beach so blue it looks photoshopped, captioned blessed. And in about 4 seconds, your great day quietly dies. Nothing in your life changed. Same job, same apartment, same plans to eat cereal for dinner tonight. But somehow, all of it just got smaller. Why does someone else's good news feel like your bad news? Picture two cavemen walking back into camp at sunset. One of them is dragging a full-grown deer, has a new mate on his arm, and the whole tribe is cheering like he just hit a walk-off home run. The other guy is holding one small, slightly embarrassed rabbit. He didn't even catch it cleanly. It basically gave up. Rabbit Guy isn't being dramatic standing there. He's running the oldest math problem humans have ever had. Because for most of human history, status wasn't about bragging rights. Status was survival. The people at the top ate first, mated first, got protected first. The people holding rabbits sometimes didn't make it to spring. So your brain installed a tracking app, runs constantly, in the background, battery draining, one job only. Where do I stand? You don't notice it most of the time. It's quiet, polite, then it spots someone pulling ahead of you, and it doesn't whisper. It loses its entire mind. Picture tiny workers inside your skull, sitting at a control desk with a wall of monitors, wearing little headsets, drinking little coffees. Normally, it's the most boring job on earth. One of them is asleep face down on the keyboard. Then, a notification comes through. Engagement photo. Best friend. Ring bigger than expected. Every single one of them dives for the alarm button at once, knocking over the coffees, like the building's on fire and also possibly haunted, and also the fire is somehow personal. That's jealousy. Not a character flaw. A fire drill your brain runs constantly for an emergency that's usually just a photo of a ring. And here's the part that really annoys people. This alarm doesn't save its loudest setting for enemies. It saves it for your friends. Take two guys who've been best friends since they were 8. Same street, same school, same dumb inside jokes for 20 years. Then one of them gets the promotion, corner office. New title on LinkedIn that his mom immediately reposts with 17 heart emojis. The other friend shows up at the bar that night, says all the right things, buys around, means every word of it, and also feels like he just got punched somewhere that doesn't leave a bruise you can point to. That sounds like a contradiction. It's not. It's just the software working exactly as designed. Anthropologists studying small hunter-gatherer tribes found something that explains this perfectly. People didn't compare themselves to strangers 3 villages over. They compared themselves to whoever was standing right next to them at the fire. Somewhere, Rabbit Guy is nodding along, like, finally, someone gets it. Makes sense once you think about it. A stranger far away wasn't competing with you for food, mates, or rank. The guy next to you was. So evolution never gave us a setting for feel nothing but joy when someone in your inner circle wins. It gave us watch your inner circle closely because they are simultaneously your support system and your competition. Charming design wasn't our call. Now take that ancient system, built to track maybe 60 people in one village, and plug it into a glowing rectangle that hand delivers the personal highlight reel of 3,000 people every single day before you've even had coffee. That rectangle is your phone. Picture the same brain workers, except the control desk just got an upgrade nobody asked for and definitely didn't budget for. 60 monitors became 3,000. New notifications roll in every few seconds. Engagement, vacation, new car, promotion, Beachbody, a second vacation, because apparently some people get 2, and one of the brain workers actually throws his clipboard at that one. The alarm system built to flag one rival per village is now drowning in a live feed from a small country. Nobody upgraded the hardware. We just hooked Stone Age software up to broadband and called it progress. There's actual data on how bad this has gotten. One widely cited study found that the average person now compares themselves to others roughly 10 times more often per day than people did before social media existed. 10 times. Same brain. 10 times the targets. 1 caveman per village. 3,000 before lunch. And there's a second bug making all of this worse. The brain is shockingly bad at noticing what it already has. There's a guy standing in a genuinely nice kitchen, the kitchen he saved years for, completely content, scrolling his phone with a coffee. Then a photo loads. Someone else's slightly nicer kitchen, slightly better lighting, slightly more attractive fruit bowl. His face drops like the floor opened up. He looks around his own kitchen like it just personally betrayed him in front of company. Nothing in his kitchen moved. The countertops didn't get worse. Only the comparison moved. He will, statistically, still complain about his kitchen to his wife tonight. This is called the contrast effect, and it might be the single dumbest glitch in human perception. Your brain doesn't rate your life on its own merits. It rates your life against whatever just walked past it. A gas station hot dog tastes incredible after you've been hiking for 6 hours. That same hot dog tastes tragic right after watching someone unbox a 5-star steakhouse dinner on video. The hot dog never changed. The lens did. Be honest. Has a stranger's vacation post ever ruined 20 actual minutes of your actual vacation? You weren't broken for it. You were just running the same buggy app everyone else has installed, including, somewhere, the guy who posted the vacation photo about someone else's vacation photo. And here's where it actually flips. You'd assume the people getting hit hardest by jealousy are the ones losing the most, the struggling ones, the ones falling behind. It's actually the opposite. Studies on this keep finding that people who are already doing reasonably well report more jealousy, not less. Once your basic needs are covered, your brain doesn't relax. It just zooms in. It stops scanning for threats to your survival and starts scanning for threats to your rank. The better your life gets, the more sensitive the radar becomes. Not less. The guy with the nice kitchen wasn't supposed to be the one losing his mind over a fruit bowl, but he is, because his brain isn't measuring survival anymore. It's measuring standing, and standing has no finish line. Picture the same brain workers from before, except now one of them has put up a banner that just says more, and nobody remembers approving the banner, and nobody can find the budget for it. And it's just staying up there indefinitely. Here's where it gets weirder though. The people who set this alarm off hardest are almost never the ones way ahead of you. It's the ones just slightly ahead, close enough that you can practically touch the gap. 2 runners cross a finish line. One guy loses by half a mile. He's not even mad. He's just glad the race is over and there's water somewhere. The other guy loses by 1 single step. The half-mile guy forgets about it by dinner. The 1-step guy is still thinking about it on his deathbed. This is the part that genuinely shouldn't be true, but is. Researchers actually filmed Olympic medalists the moment their event ended, before any medals were handed out, and had people rate how happy each athlete looked. Bronze medalists scored happier on camera than silver medalists. Repeatedly, despite silver being mathematically the better medal. Bronze medalists are just thrilled to be standing there at all. Silver medalists can only see one thing: how close they came to gold and how far that one step now feels. Forever. Possibly while accepting actual silver. That's why your friend's success can sting worse than a celebrity's. A celebrity feels like a different species of life, completely unrelated to yours. A friend feels like proof of a road you could have taken, standing 2 feet from the road you're actually on. Stop and sit with this one for a second. This whole system isn't something you picked up from television or high school or Instagram. You were born with it already running. Researchers have found jealousy showing up in babies as young as 6 months old, way before they can talk, way before they understand status, careers, money, or LinkedIn. Put a baby's mother next to a baby doll, have her smile and coo at the doll instead of the baby, and the baby gets visibly distressed within seconds. Heart rate up, cortisol up, reaching, fussing, trying to physically get back in the spotlight. 6 months old, no internet, no high school reunion, just a baby whose ancient operating system already knew one rule: losing attention from the person keeping you alive is dangerous. React now. You didn't learn to feel jealous by scrolling through Instagram. You arrived with the app pre-installed, which raises an obvious question. If this thing is that old, that wired in, that universal, why does it feel so embarrassing to admit out loud? Turns out, it didn't always. Now here's the twist almost nobody sees coming. For most of human history, jealousy wasn't something to hide. It was something to report. Picture a tribe at night, fire crackling, and someone just says it out loud. I've noticed he's been getting a lot more attention from the group lately. Nobody gasps. Nobody calls him petty. It's just data. Useful, important, group-relevant data. The Stone Age version of a performance review. Say that same sentence today, and you get quietly removed from the group chat. Modern culture decided jealousy is shameful. something to deny on the spot. But evolution didn't build it as a moral failing. It built it as a smoke alarm, a signal that says something just shifted in your social world. Go check it out. The problem was never that the alarm exists. The problem is what you do the second it goes off. Think of a literal smoke detector in a kitchen. Sometimes the house is on fire. Sometimes someone just made slightly aggressive toast. The detector cannot tell the difference. It screams identically either way at 3 a.m. for no one's benefit. Jealousy runs the same broken logic. Sometimes it's pointing at something real, a relationship you've been neglecting, a goal you keep avoiding. Other times, it's just burnt toast, screaming about a photo that has nothing to do with your actual life. You can't rip the detector off the wall. Believe me, people have tried, usually at 2 a.m, standing on a chair in their underwear, regretting every decision that led to this moment. You're stuck with it forever. The actual skill is walking into the kitchen and checking what's burning before you evacuate the entire building over someone's vacation photo. So back to the beginning. Phone in hand, someone's engagement, someone's house, someone's beach. Be honest, has social media ever taken a perfectly good day and ruined it in under 5 seconds flat? If yes, congratulations, you have a fully functional human brain. And so does everyone else who just nodded at their screen reading this. That feeling was never proof something's wrong with you. It was proof something extremely old is still wired on inside you, quietly running. Like it never got the memo that the war ended. Somewhere, Rabbit Guy is still out there too, holding his rabbit, looking at his phone, scrolling, feeling something very familiar, and honestly, still not over the Dear Guy. A tracking system built for 60 people, now running on a feed of thousands. A status alarm built for firelight, now triggered by photos taken in better lighting than your actual life will ever have. And the real reveal isn't that any of this makes you a bad person. It's that you're carrying an alarm system built to keep your ancestors fed, paired, and protected inside their group, still wired exactly the same way, now ringing nonstop in a world with a few 1,000% more triggers than it was ever built for. The alarm isn't broken. The math around it is. So here's a real question. Be honest. What's the dumbest, smallest thing you've ever caught yourself genuinely jealous over? Not the big stuff. The embarrassing stuff. The stuff you'd never admit out loud unless someone else asked first. Because long before phones, long before social media, long before cities, before writing, before agriculture itself, humans were already doing this. Watching each other, measuring, competing, quietly working out exactly where they stood inside the group. The faces changed. The technology changed. The entire world changed. The instinct didn't get the memo. And that's why one photo, one promotion, one stranger's lucky week can still hit something in you that feels completely impossible to ignore. Because jealousy was never really about what other people have. It's about what your brain has decided that means about you. So if this much of what you feel every day is running on instructions written for a world that no longer exists, how many of your thoughts are actually yours?